Welcome back. My name is Holly, and I have a little bit of a problem. So, in case you don't know, I'm a teacher on summer break, and I really don't want to waste my summer scrolling on my phone. So, I am going to swap my screen time for reading. Based on last week's screen time, I averaged almost 4 hours a day on my phone, which isn't bad. Like, that's not so bad. But I think ideally if I could get it down to like 2 hours, that would be a lot better. Like this is an arbitrary number, by the way, I just made that up. But overall, last week I spent 27 hours on my phone, which when you think about that, that's just a lot of time to be on your phone. And if I swapped it with reading, imagine how much reading I would get done. So that's what we're gonna see. We don't have to imagine because I'm gonna do it for you. You're welcome. So last week on Monday, I was on my phone. This is the lightest day. I don't know what was going on last week, but I was just very active. I was doing stuff. I wasn't really on my phone, which is great. I only spent an hour and 50 minutes on my phone last week on Monday. So I'm going to read for at least an hour and 50 minutes today. The book that I'm reading right now is called Hidden Pictures by Jason something. I don't know how to pronounce that. And it's a horror, which I don't normally read, like at all. I don't watch scary movies. I don't read horror. So it's definitely been interesting. I am on chapter 12 right now. I'm 36% of the way through. And basically, so far this book is about this girl. Again, don't ask me about her name. Don't ask me. I don't know names, okay? Just don't. She gets a job as a nanny for this family, and the kid starts drawing all these pictures, and at first they're just like normal pictures, and then he starts drawing his imaginary friend, Anya. Why do I know that name? I don't know, but you're welcome. These pictures get more and more disturbing, and it looks like he is depicting Anya's death, and so creepy, right? I will say that the book itself probably wouldn't be freaking me out that much, but they included like the actual drawings. Scary. It is eerie. I am uncomfortable. So what did I say? We have to read for an hour and 50 minutes. Okay. An hour and 50 minutes. Oh no. Let's turn so you don't. An hour and 50 minutes starting now. I have like 10 minutes left to read today, and I'm probably gonna go way over that, honestly. I read like an hour and a half, a little over an hour and a half this morning, and then I went to the gym, and now I want to go to the pool, and I'm really hoping there's not a lot of people there, but it's like a beautiful day, so I get the feeling that there will be a lot of people. Anyway, that's not why y'all are here. Y'all are here for the reading. This book is so good, Hidden Pictures. I will say I'm like almost done. I think I'm like 80-90%, something like that. I don't remember. But I think this book is so good. Like, I was reading it last night and I got like kind of freaked out. Like, I don't watch scary movies, and if this was a movie, I wouldn't watch it. Absolutely not. But reading it, I'm okay because I'm like not having to look at it. So it's not as real feeling, like it's not as scary, but it is still scary. But I have guessed a few of the plot twists, but I haven't been mad about it. Like, it hasn't been like, oh, they're obvious. It's like the type of plot twist where you're like, yes, I knew it. So satisfied with that. I'm sorry, there's a lot of noise. I am at a public pool and there are kids here, so just deal with it, kind of. I finished my screen time allotment like 20 minutes ago, but I wanted to finish Hidden Pictures to give you guys a full update. I highly recommend. It was so good. The plot was very interesting. I feel like it was able to build up the story very quickly and then build intrigue also really steadily throughout. It does deal a little bit, this might be a spoiler, very minor. It deals a little bit talking about possession. So if that's like a no-go for you, maybe avoid this, but it's not like super detailed or super graphic. So, I mean, I don't do possession and I thought it was fine. So the plot twist, like I said, I guessed like one of the major ones, but there were so many others that totally got me. And I know it's not a thriller, it's a horror, but it felt like both. So highly recommend. I'm like leaning towards probably 4 stars right now, but I'll update at the end because I have a really bad habit of giving terrible ratings immediately after finishing a book and then going back like a week later and being like, what was I thinking? So we'll update totally later. Now I'm starting The Heartless Hunter, which is book 2 of the Crimson Moth duology. I loved this book. What was the first one called? Oh no, the first one is called The Heartless Hunter. I'm starting Rebel Witch. I loved Heartless Hunter. I thought it was so good. Honestly, I don't remember too much about what happens. I'm like reading the recap now because it's been a long time. I've been waiting for Rebel Witch to pop up on Kindle Unlimited and it finally did. So, but basically, from what I remember, the first book is about like a witch and she has to like, she's like trying to save other witches because witches are like killed in this world. And so she has to like kind of go undercover, and so she starts pretending to date the main witch hunter. He doesn't know she's a witch. So stakes are high, tension's high, but I thought it was a very good story, so I'm excited to kind of dive into Rebel Witch. Yes, I've already done my hour and 50 minutes, but I'm enjoying myself. I'm laying out, getting some sun, so I'm just gonna keep reading until I'm done out here. And then I'll probably be done reading for the day. I have some other things that I need to take care of, but hello, happy Tuesday. Yesterday I was successful in reading my hour and 50 minutes. I actually read like for 2.5 hours yesterday, but anyway, today I need to read for 2 hours and 42 minutes. Yesterday, as you saw, I started Rebel Witch, which is the second book in the Heartless Hunter series, and I got to 6%. So I'm on chapter 4. Really liking it. It starts like immediately, like you're diving back into it, so really appreciate that. So I'm going to pick this book up, and I don't know, do you think I can finish it? Probably not. Probably not. It'll probably take me like 4 hours to finish it. How long is this? Oh, so it says there's 5.5 hours left in the book. We'll see. Alright, that is my time for today. What was it, like 2 hours and 42 minutes, something like that? I am 54% through with Rebel Witch and loving it. It is so good. If you have not started this duology, I highly recommend it. I'm probably going to finish this chapter and then check in with you guys tomorrow for my next day of reading. Just taste me when he's kissing you. If you want forever, I bet you do. Just know you taste me too. Okay, it is Wednesday, And that means that I need to read for 3 hours and 43 minutes, which is crazy because it's exactly an hour and a minute longer than yesterday. Kind of cool. So 3 hours and 43 minutes. Let's get this. Okay, it's not going to focus, so I give up. Just trust me that I'm doing it correctly. So I'm going to continue reading Rebel Witch. I am 54% of the way through it. I just got done at the gym, so I'm going to make myself a snack and read, and then check in with you guys later. So, 3 hours and 43 minutes starting now. I've been reading for like half an hour, 3 hours and 8 minutes left, and I am 65% of the way through Rebel Witch. Y'all, this book is so good. I honestly, when I finished Heartless Hunter, which is the first one, I didn't know where it was gonna go from there. And it's been so long since I read that one. Not a year, it's been less than a year, but it's been a while, okay? But it picked up like right where it left off, and it's just immediately into action. So good. The chapters are super, super short. Like, they are crazy short. On my Kindle, basically every time I start a new chapter, it's like 4 minutes or less to the end of the chapter. Like, they're so short, and it's dual POV, so you get Rune and Gideon, their points of view. I'm pretty sure you also got both of them in Heartless Hunter. I can't remember. But you get both of their points of view, and it like alternates between them. It's so good! And somehow, despite being such short chapters, it feels like almost every chapter ends on some sort of cliffhanger. So it's so hard for me to put it down because I finished my snack. I made yogurt, and I was like, okay, when I finish my yogurt, I'm gonna do something else. That was like 20 minutes ago, and I just kept being like, okay, after this chapter. And then I'd turn the 2 pages that the chapter was, and something else would happen, and I'm like, oh, I gotta keep going. So finally, I'm stopping for now. I'm gonna change gears because I actually don't have a reason for changing gears. But I'm going to listen to my audiobook for a little bit while I work on some other stuff. And the audiobook that I'm listening to is Mechanicum, which is part of that Horus Heresy series that I keep mentioning. So I do plan on going back to Rebel Witch. I really want to finish it today because it's just, oh my gosh, it's so good. And I can't wait to figure out how it's going to end. Everything is like right now, like, so it's so good. But I am going to switch to my audiobook and listen to that for a little while, and then get back to Rebel Witch because I'm eating it up. It's so good. It's so good. Hello. I know I look crazy, but I have tan on, self-tanner. So I have only an hour and 18 minutes left. I've been listening to my audiobook like I literally just said. I mean, I said it hours ago, but you heard it like 10 seconds ago. Sorry about that. But let's see. Yeah, it says I have 2 hours left in the book, so I don't think I'll finish it by the time the timer runs out, but I'm probably gonna just go ahead and finish it today. I have like 2 hours, 2.5 hours until I need to rinse my tan off, so I'm just gonna sit and read this. My audiobook that I was listening to is really good as well, but I just really like Warhammer stuff, so I don't want to go into detail about it just because it's so niche that I feel like a lot of people do not care. But if you do care, let me know and I will talk to you about it as long as you want because I really love it. But back to Rune and Gideon and the Rebel Moth, chapter 52. What's gonna happen? It is much later. My timer went off a while ago, and I think I had like half an hour left in Rebel Witch, so I just went ahead and finished it, and I've been thinking about it for a while, and honestly, one of the best books I've read in a long time. It was so good. The yearning was there. It had forced proximity. They were, like, neither of them were doing, like, no character was doing anything stupid. Like, no one was making just, like, dumb decisions and being annoying, which I really appreciate. Because I feel like that is one thing that's going to take me out of it so fast, is if characters are just, like, being stupid just to drive conflict or whatever. But I really felt like it was as realistic as it could be for a fantasy. The romance felt very realistic, and like it was tense. And again, I can't talk too much about it because it's the second book, but I am probably gonna give it 4.5 stars because I just can't stop thinking about it. It was so incredible. Please, if you get nothing else from this video, go away and read The Heartless Hunter duology. So good. So that's all I have for today. Tomorrow, I think, is going to be my longest reading day. I think it's over 5 hours. So check in with you tomorrow. Good morning. It is Thursday, which, as I mentioned yesterday, is my heaviest reading day today with 5 hours and 3 minutes of reading. I already started my timer actually because I went to the gym, and so I did some reading at the gym. So I'm down to just 4 hours and 4 minutes left. So I read for like an hour. I split my time between listening to my audiobook, Mechanicum, and I started a new book by Ruth Ware. It's called 0 Days. I don't know what it's about. I'm just gonna be so honest with you guys. I'm pretty sure it's like this husband and wife that do heists together, and then the husband is found dead and they think like the wife is the main suspect. That's all I know. I literally like just started it, not even through the first chapter, okay? Most of my reading this morning was Mechanicum. So I have 4 hours and 4 minutes left. I hope to get pretty far into 0 days. But that's all. That's the update. So let's get to reading. Somehow I got lucky and there is nobody at the pool right now, which is amazing. So I have the whole pool to myself, but I have been reading more of 0 Days. I'm on page 140 and it's really good. It is so stressful. I don't think it's a thriller, but it's definitely like keeping me on the edge of my seat in like a suspenseful way. So basically the plot I already kind of briefly explained, which is that her husband was murdered and she's being blamed for it. So now she has to like, 1, not get blamed for it, obviously, and 2, try to figure out who did it. And it's tense in a good way though. Like, I will say, I did not expect the like emotions to be as intense. Like, when she finds her husband dead, the grief, like I felt it through the page. And I'm like terrified of my husband dying. Like, obviously I feel like that's not a very uncommon fear, but like I get like really in my head about that. Like I can like envision, like imagine exactly how I'd feel. And reading that and then reading her like grief over the next few days, it almost did me in. I almost had to DNF it just because it was so raw and so realistic, and I was like getting really stressed and like nervous about like, well, what happens if my husband gets murdered, which is crazy. So I guess that's a trigger warning for you. If you don't want to read about that, then this is not the book for you. But other than that, I'm really liking it. What did I say? I was on page 140. I think I'm like a third of the way through. Yeah, I'm at 37%. And I totally forgot to restart my timer now that I'm thinking about it. Let me get my phone. Yeah, I don't know what time I got out here, but before I started reading, I had 2.5 hours left, basically. 2 hours and... Oh, hello. It's so bright out here, I can't see my phone. Okay. I had 2 hours, 27 minutes, 27 seconds left. I've probably been reading for like 10 or 15 minutes. It's hard to tell, honestly, but oh well. I'm just gonna resume the timer from now, and I think I can do it. I think I can read for another 2.5 hours. Not a big deal. I'm probably gonna sit out here. It was it's still cloudy and like kind of gloomy out here, and I think that's why no one's at the pool. I'm gonna read for another 2.5 hours and update you guys then. And with that, my longest day is done. Wow. I am on page 281, 72% of the way through 0 days. Y'all, this is intense. It's very much, it's reminding me of the movie Salt, if you've seen that, and just like any sort of movie where like they're trying to escape from the cops and like they're running around and being undercover and doing sneaky stuff. Like, it's very, very cool. It's also very techie, which I didn't realize, probably because I don't know, or I didn't know what 0 days was. Like, that's a technical term apparently, and you don't learn it until like halfway through the book. But it's a very, very techie book because it's about like hacking and stuff. So let me tell you, the twists and turns that this book has gone on, wow, I have not seen any of this coming. I've been just dead wrong about everything. But I'm really, really liking it. 72% of the way through. Part of me wants to just finish it tonight. But I've been reading a lot today, and I'm kind of tired. So, I am going to finish this chapter. I will say these chapters are so freaking long. Like, they're so long. And it's split up. So it starts out, is it 8 days out? It starts at like -8 days. And that's like what I've been counting as like the parts of the book. You know how like books will have like part 1, 2, and 3. So that's kind of how it's broken up. But then within that, there's not really chapters because they're not numbered. It's just like a break. But even that, like, they're really, really long, which is fine. The book is not boring at all. However, I like short chapters. I prefer short chapters for sure. But this isn't like turning me off of the book that it has long chapters. But just if you were interested in reading this, just know, very, very, very long chapters. It's pretty techy, but I feel like everything gets explained in a way that I can at least semi-understand. Like, I'm following it for the most part. There's still a few things that I'm like, I don't know how that happened, but I don't think it's an actual plot hole. I think it's just me being a little bit dumb. But I'm loving it. It's really good. I definitely would not consider this a thriller. I think I mentioned that earlier, but it is just like a nail biter, I guess. Like, my blood isn't pumping, but I am definitely like on the edge of my seat, like what's gonna happen. So like a mild thriller, suspenseful, and I'm gonna come up with a better word for it, because I feel like there's a word that perfectly encapsulates the feeling of this book, and I just need to figure it out. Okay, peace. See you tomorrow.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday.
Which means this is the last day that I have to do this challenge. I've actually been really enjoying it, and it has not been as hard as I thought it was gonna be. Granted, I feel like the first 2 days were really easy, so we'll see. But my time for today is 4 hours and 56 minutes, which is great. Basically the same amount of time as yesterday, like a few minutes off. So yesterday was 5 hours 3 minutes. What did I say? 4:56. 4 hours 56 minutes on the timer. I am definitely going to be finishing 0 Days today. It is so good. I did keep reading last night. I ended up at 79%, which is page 306. One thing I will say about this book, and I feel like I'm pretty sure I already mentioned that the chapters are really long, but because the chapters are so long, I find myself like stopping in the middle of chapters, which, I mean, I'll be honest, I kind of do that anyway. Like, it's not that big of a deal to me to stop in the middle of a chapter. I don't love it, but I'll do it if I need to. Like, if I just need to stop, or, you know, whatever. I can just stop in the middle of a chapter. I don't really care. But I've noticed with this book, it's like every time that I've stopped, it's been in the middle of a chapter. Like, it's so hard for me to get to the end of the chapter. Anyway, I have 1 hour and 11 minutes left in this book, according to Kindle. My hair is not doing what it's supposed to be doing today. So I'm going to finish 0 Days and then probably spend the rest of the day either listening to more of my audiobook Mechanicum, or I did just see that my Libby hold for Just the Nicest Couple is ready. So might do that. I don't know. We'll see. So 4 hours 56 minutes on the timer, starting now. We are like, what is that, 40-ish minutes in, and I just finished 0 Days. I loved it. It was so good. Like I said, kept me on the edge of my seat. I kept coming back. I was so hooked. I had to know what was going to happen, and I think it unfolded perfectly. I'm really, really pleased with all the twists and turns that we took. Like, there were a few things that I was like, okay, I think I know where this is going, and I was just dead wrong. Like, just wrong. There was like only one thing that I was right on, and even that I was like still wrong. Like, I was on the right track, but had the details wrong. So if you want to be surprised, I recommend that one. The only thing I'm not crazy about is there was one thing that kind of near the beginning, middle of the book, I was like, oh, I wonder if that's gonna happen. And then as the book went on, I was like, okay, yeah, there's no way that's gonna happen. That's impossible. There's just no way. And then it happened. And I was like, So I don't love that. I mean, I don't hate it. It's just, it felt very improbable to me. However, it's a book, and I'm willing to suspend disbelief for the sake of the novel. So I really liked it, and now I'm going to listen to my audiobook for the next, I don't know if I'm gonna listen to it for 4 hours and 17 minutes. That's kind of a long time to listen to an audiobook, but I am going to switch. I mean, I have like 6 hours left in this book, but I'm gonna listen to that for a while. If I end up wanting to pick up another book, it will probably be Just the Nicest Couple, but I will check in with you guys if that ends up happening. Otherwise, I will see ya in, like, for you guys, like 2 seconds. Hi. It is now Saturday, and unfortunately, I failed yesterday. Okay, I had literally 14 minutes left, but I was so tired last night, I couldn't do it. But you know what? I know for a fact I read like an extra 45 minutes on Monday, so in the grand scheme of things, I think it all worked out. Dang it. Now that I have finished this challenge, let's do a quick recap on all of the books that I finished in this reading vlog. So I finished Hidden Pictures, which I ended up sticking with my 4 stars. I, again, really liked this one. If you're looking for a creepy, suspenseful horror that's not too gross and graphic, highly recommend Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. So that's what I'm going with. I then picked up Rebel Witch, which is the second book in the Heartless Hunter duology, or the Crimson Moth duology. Absolutely loved it. I'm going with 4.5 stars because there's just very few criticisms that I have of the book. I felt the pacing was great. The plot was very interesting. I have seen some discourse on why certain people don't love this book, and I totally understand. Miscommunication is an aspect of this book, but this is one of the few cases that I think it actually makes sense. I'm not going to go into any more detail because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but I do feel like if you don't like the miscommunication trope, which I don't like the miscommunication trope, I still don't think it was done poorly. Like, I think it makes sense the way that this book progressed, I guess. Really liked it. And then I read 0 Days by Ruth Ware. Again, a very interesting, compelling story, thrilling, suspenseful. I was on the edge of my seat and I just absolutely love all of it. It was so interesting. I gave it 4 stars and I am sticking with that. If you are a fan of like action movies, nail biters, that sort of stuff, techie movies, anything like that, I think you would like 0 Days. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. If you liked this type of video, please let me know because I really enjoyed making it. If you did like it, go ahead and make sure to like the video. Comment down any thoughts that you have. If you've read any of these books, if you have any book suggestions for me or video suggestions for me, I would love to hear them. And then don't forget to subscribe so that I can see you in the next one. Mwah! Bye!